is sine inverses, okay? What you're given in your tables is what's on the left hand side, and what you're going to be given on the right is basically what you would need to know to do the questions. Now what I have is this, okay? If I go to my tables and it says f of x is sine inverse x over a, I have the following things learned off by heart, right? They're not in the tables. I'll know that a always equals 1 for differentiation. I'll know that off by heart. Second thing I'll know off by heart is once I go into the section, okay, this is in the notes, so I'll look this up in the notes and I'll have this much in the notes. And once I've read that in the notes, what I'll do then is I'll actually adjust the full thing. And I'll adjust the full thing to the following. I'll say that I'll call that u. I'll call the other part over here u. And then I'll put in the missing part, the u dx. That's what I have learnt off. I just have a equals 1, replace x with u, put the u dx at the end of the rule. Alright? Now that brings me to the rule that's in the book. Okay? So for example, let's say question 2. Very standard question, okay? Standard 2. Y equals tan inverse 3x over 1. I'll then write down the tan inverse rule beside it. I'll say tan inverse u is 1 over, tan inverse x over a is a over a squared plus x squared. I've gotten that off the notes. Now here's what I write down. Whatever is in the box beside tan inverse is u. U is going to be 3x. A is going to be 1. Okay? So now I go up here and I replace all x's with u's and I put the du dx at the end. In effect, it's like this. Wherever x is a box with whatever is in the bracket. Okay? So the way to do this question is this. The y dx ends up to be a, which is 1, a squared, which is 1 squared, u squared, which is 3x to be squared. Hidden part is differentiate 3x, and what you get? 3. And you get 3 over 1 plus 3x to be squared. Okay, that's the first answer done. Okay, let's try another one. Sine inverse, okay? We're going to try here is sine y, number 3, y equals sine inverse x minus 1. Okay? Now, the y dx ends up to be, I have to look up the formula for sine inverse x, the regular formula, okay? The regular formula says 1 divided by a squared minus x squared. Square root of a squared minus x squared. I've now done that. Now, in effect, a is 1, x is whatever is in the box. It's now going to be x minus 1 squared. And then I also have to differentiate what's in the box. So here's how I do this. The y dx ends up to be 1 divided by the square root of, now that's plus 1 by the way, so it's going to be 1 squared minus bracket x minus 1 squared. Okay, close that there. And then we're going to differentiate what's in the box. We have to differentiate x minus 1. And when you differentiate x minus 1, you get 1. So it's going to be 1 divided by the square root of 1 squared minus x minus 1 squared. That's going to be 1 minus bracket x squared minus 2x plus 1. 1 minus 1 they cancel. And what we're going to be left with is 2x minus x squared. There's 2x minus x squared underneath. And that's your answer for dy dx. Right, we'll try another one again. The next one I'll try is, I'm going to try question 7. Okay, now question 7 is quite a difficult question. Is there any fraction ones? Not yet. Okay, shh. Look at question 7, guys, okay? y equals sine inverse 5x squared. What do you think the rule is here, guys? Is it a product, a chain, or a quotient? It's a chain, okay? Let's treat the chain like we would normally. Bring the 2 to the front. Sine inverse 5x to the power 1. Then at the side, you have to differentiate. You have to differentiate sine inverse 5x. Okay. Once again, you go to your rule. If you're differentiating normal x, it's going to be 1 over the square root of a squared minus x squared. And remember, it's whatever is in the box, differentiate what's in the box. So what's in the box is 5x and a is 1. So what it's going to be is all this here. And then when you're differentiating beside it, what you're going to get is 1 over the square root of 1 minus x squared. Now minus x squared, it's what's in the box, so it's going to be 5x to be squared. Then it's differentiate what's in the box, differentiate 5x, we get 5. So the answer therefore is going to be 2 times 5, which is 10. 10 sine inverse 5x all over the square root of 1 minus 25x squared. Okay? Now, we're going to go for the fraction one, which is question 9. Oh, sorry, yeah, I'll do question 9. So I think it's question 8. Okay, question 9, guys. Now, question 9, what we're going to be getting is y equals sine inverse x over 2. Now, please remember, what's the rule for this again? The rule is the y dx ends up to be 1 over the square root of a squared minus x squared, and then that's it, okay? But what we, once again, that's what we have in our tables, but what we need is whatever is in the box, and then differentiate whatever is in the box. Now, a is not the number 2. A is always 1. Now, if a is 1, what's the box going to be? X over 2. X over 2 is what's left. Okay? So, what we're going to get is this. The y dx ends up to be a squared, which is 1 squared, which is 1, minus x over 2 squared. Then you have to differentiate x over 2. We're going to get 1 divided by the square root of 1 divided by the square root of 1 minus x2 over 4. Differentiate, what happens when you differentiate x over 2? What you get? What happens when you differentiate a half x? Half. Okay, so it's a half. Now, see this 4 here? Okay, here's the hard part. 1 divided by the square root of, we're going to put this over 4 as well. You happy with that? 1 changes into 4 over 4. It's going to be 4 minus x squared all over 4. Now, does anybody remember the square root rule? Where if I said you had root 9 over root 4, it's the same thing as root 9 over root 4, which is the same thing as 3 over 2. What I'm going to change the bottom of this one into is this, and there's still a half there. What I'm going to change it into is this, 1 over the square root of 4 minus x squared, root 4. Do you understand the square root sign? Yeah. Counts for both of them, over a half. Now I got to bring this one up to the top and turn it upside down, and what we're going to get is root 4. So we're going to get root 4 over root 4 minus x squared divided by a half. What is root 4? 2. And 2 divided by 2? 1 over 4 minus x squared. Alright guys,